50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 464. Today is Wednesday, November 6, 2024. Big day on Tuesday, one of the biggest days in the country. And I'm not talking about election day, trade deadline. How you doing?
Definitely some interesting and good trades that went on today. Also election day, so I hope everybody went out and vote, make your voices heard. Interesting Sunday night and Monday night games, though. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll recap Sunday. Man, was I wrong? Was I wrong? Colts did not look the best that I thought they were going to. Credit Brian Flores' defense, though. We'll talk about that. Chiefs. I think the expression was Baker Mayfield after he lost the coin toss. Just the head tilt back. He knew they weren't going to lose that game after that. We got NFL Week 10 power rankings. Thursday Night Football, big showdown at the bank. AFC North battle between the Ravens and the Bengals. And we got a big NBA card here on a Wednesday. They took off for Election Day on Tuesday, so no games were on Tuesday. Bunch of teams, are playing on Wednesday. So let's get right into it. Like I said, man, my dog of the day was not good. Colts lose to the Vikings 21-13. I'll say this right off the bat. Anyone who thinks AR-15 or Anthony Richardson would have done better, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you're watching football either. I don't think he would have done better than Joe Flacco would have. But 16 for 27, he regressed a little bit. But Sam Darnold didn't play well either. I thought the defense played well. They had that fumble early in the second quarter, to get up into that 7-0 lead. But Sam Darnold, when you have a guy like Justin Jefferson, you're just going to do it all. And he went crazy towards the end of the game. 7 catches, 137 yards. Didn't find the end zone, but big game from him. Aaron Jones continues to deliver. But yeah, offensively, I thought defensively, the Colts held them in the game as much as they could. It's just offensively, they could never find a rhythm.
Yeah, Dale, I think Brian Flores had himself a day. Coming off 2 back-to-back losses, it was some concerns on our heads. Like, are the Vikings are frauds? Did they get exposed? And then Brian Flores had himself a game. The Colts were scoreless through 3 quarters. They were scoreless through 3 quarters. They scored a touchdown on a fumble. Give credit to the defense on the strip 6. Mm-hmm. But, Joe Flacco regressed a little bit, like you said, Dale. He wasn't Joe Flacco as 16 for 27, 179. I think that's the surprising part because Joe Flacco's been slinging it since he's been starting for the Colts. And, they slowed him down. Jonathan Taylor wasn't able to run the ball. The team collectively wasn't able to run the ball. On 19 attempts, only 68 yards. And besides Josh Downs, nobody was really able to, get it going offensively. So I think Brian Flores called one hell of a game. And for on the other side of Minnesota, I think Sammy D played great, in my opinion, Dale. 28 for 34, 290, 3 tutties. I understand 2 interceptions.
Bad interceptions.
Yeah, one was bad. One was really, really bad, Dale. But he overcame him, and that's what you got to give credit to. He overcame them with 3 touchdowns and almost 300 yards passing. He had 2 picks, right? He only had 4 incompletions besides those 2 picks, still. To me, that's pretty damn great. Like you said, Justin Jefferson, don't even have to say nothing. He's just amazing. Aaron Jones didn't really run the ball great, but, he was effective. Cam Akers was the one that's actually hurting them with the big runs, but it was nice to see TJ Hawkinson back there. Like I said before the game, I was like, it's only going to make the team better having a guy like that back in their offense. He didn't do much, 3 for 27, but it's good to see him out there. And trust me, give him a couple weeks, he's going to be very impactful. So I love what I saw from the Minnesota team. They was able to cover, so we got there.
Yeah, big response from the Vikings. I just thought the interceptions were bad from Darnold. You drive all the way down early on, and then you throw a pick in the end zone when you shouldn't have thrown that ball. The fumble was an issue as well. If you get that off the board, I mean, this team barely scores. What do they score? 6 points, 5, 6, 7 points, something like that. So I don't know. Offensively, they kind of regressed, the Indianapolis Colts. Sam Darnold played good. And you mentioned it was nice to see TJ Hawkinson out there. Scared me when he took that low hit, because that's what hurt him last year was
but
the
you gotta
low
give
hit.
credit to the defender for wrapping him up, not just we saw that infamous hit. I know you remember it. I don't know many listeners.
Yeah.
Remember that hit with against the Steelers when Gronk got hurt for the rest of the year, and it just hit him straight low. See, the defender could have went nasty like that, and he didn't. He made a proper tackle. Give credit to him.
Yeah, big bounce back from the Vikings. Good to see them back in the win circle after losing 2 in a row. They moved to 6-2. Let's go to Monday night. Like I mentioned, kind of a slow start for Kansas City. Buck started hot. I thought Baker Mayfield, real quick on Tampa, I thought Baker Mayfield and the offensive coordinator had a great game plan. I thought he played fantastic. He didn't turn the ball over. Only 2 sacks, 23 for 31, 200 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, one to Cade Otton late to tie it. Ryan Miller had 1 as well. But this is a team that's missing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And then you go out there and then you bring the Kansas City Chiefs to overtime. I know they're under 500, but you got to give credit. I thought Buccaneers, despite losing, played a really good game.
Yeah. Still, I hit on the plus 9.5 with the Bucks. I had a small feeling they're alive. It's just it was hard for me to get there, on live dogs without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Those are 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, and we're seeing it. Maybe if those guys are there, maybe these guys pull off an upset in Kansas City. Still, to me, biggest reason why they lost is they were unable to establish a running game. Bucky Irving couldn't really get nothing. Rashad White couldn't really get nothing. And to me, I do agree with you. Like the game plan was pretty good. To me, they should have just stuck with the run just a little bit more. So give credit to Kansas City for winning a game that they honestly could have lost. Patrick Mahomes, we saw him, walk out, a couple plays with that injury. You could say a couple plays, not even. Looked serious. He came back, and to be honest, he led him to a victory. So Patrick Mahomes did his thing. Kind of a vintage Patrick Mahomes day. Around 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. He did get sacked 4 times. You gotta give credit to that defense and Todd Bowles. I knew they were going to be able to get after him, Bill, but hey, they're still able to win. Kareem Hunt, another huge game-winning touchdown, over 100 yards on 27 attempts. Vintage Travis Kelce, they do. Looking like playoff Travis Kelce, and they need him in D-Hop. Wow. This might be a scary pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs because they're going to get better. Xavier Worthy is still good. Hardman, those 2 speedsters can hurt you deep. And now you got a guy who's most likely going to catch the ball 95% of the time in DeAndre Hopkins. You just got to put it somewhere near him. And then you got all reliable in Travis Kelce. And that defense is still a top 5, top 10 defense. So shout out to the Chiefs, only undefeated team in the league, but Tampa definitely gave more run for their money.
Yeah, D-Hop is such a great fit for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll say this, you mentioned Kareem Hunt. Just think about it. This guy wasn't on a squad. He wasn't on a team. He comes up.
You got to question a lot of general managers out there for if this guy's doing that on the biggest stage against a solid defense against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He's one of the best running backs in the league. He has to be.
Jerry Jones, question. I'm going to keep going there, Dale.
Yeah.
There's multiple teams out there that could have used a guy like Kareem Hunt, and he's out here doing it. For guess who, the 2-time reigning Super Bowl champion.
Of course. So, yeah, I think the bunch of good fits. D-Hop is so special. I mean, that connection. Bringing out, remember the Titans celebration. I like that at the end.
You can tell he's going to enjoy playing there. He went from, 1-6 team at the time to undefeated.
Must be nice.
Good chance to represent, go to the Super Bowl as well. D-Hop definitely living the dream right now.
But, yeah, we hit on the Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 touchdowns. So we get there 9-8. Finish above 500 in the green for week 9, excuse me.
Yeah.
How did you do overall week 9?
Yeah, we came back with the Sunday night and Monday night. We ended up finished 8-8. Just was able to get to 500 with the minus 5.5 with the Vikings and the plus 9.5 with the Tampa Bay Bucks. I wish I would have got there with Kareem Hunt over again and would have had a positive week. But hey, it is what it is. I'll take the 8-8.
Let's go to our power rankings. Now, I feel like I say this every week, but 11 was close again. But I'll just say it for for shits and giggles. Bad loss to the Jets, but I had to knock the Texans out of the top 10. They are sitting at 11 on the outside looking in, but you can't lose to the Jets like that. They just didn't look good. I can understand if it was a competitive game. Jets were kind of in control for most of that game. Number 10, Atlanta Falcons. Big win, moving to 6-3. They have control of the division right now. Big win against the Cowboys. Most important game, I think, moving forward, if you just kind of want to look ahead towards their schedule, week 14 at the Vikings. That's going to be a very big game in that NFC. So love what I'm seeing from Kirk Cousins. They still need to get pressure. This is a team we'll talk about after our power rankings, but this is a team that I thought would go out and try to get a pass rusher, someone kind of like the Packers or the Lions. So I question that, but they think they're good. We'll see, but they are a top 10 team now. They're playing like a 6-3.
Dill, I agree and disagree with you at the same time. I kept the Falcons out. I love everything they're doing, but I had to keep the Texans in there. I'm not going to overreact against one bad loss against your New York Jets. Still, give me the Houston Texans at number 10. I do have Atlanta on the outside looking in. Give credit to them. They took care of business against the Cowboys, but it's the Cowboys still. Give me the Texans at number 10. I think, without Stephon Diggs, without Nico Collins, we seen this offense regress just a little bit. But when they get Nico Collins back, I think they'll be just fine. Joe Mixon been running the ball, held out of the ball. Has been a top 5 back in the league when he's healthy. Defensively, I think they're getting better. It was a little, shaky a couple of weeks ago, but defensively, I think they're gonna get better. Aaron Rodgers did his thing against them, though. I'm not gonna do that against you, but I still like this Texas team. I'm not going to overreact against one bad loss. Give me the Texans at number 10.
At number 9, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. They almost blew the game. Nick Sirianni play calling is very questionable, but I like this team, man. I think the defense is really starting to play. Cooper DeJean looks good. It's going to come down to week 16 at the Redskins. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a really good game. I think it's 50-50 who wins the division, but I do think the defense is playing. Jalen Hurts is playing clean football. Finally, Saquon Barkley is, one of the most athletic fucking plays, jumping over someone like behind. I don't even know how to fucking describe it. It was actually backwards. Yes, thank you. I lost words for a sec, but I don't think it's advised that you do that, but he made it look fucking cool. So I do worry about A.J. Brown. We'll see how healthy he is, but Devontae Smith is still a beast. I like this team. I got the Eagles at number 9.
Yeah, at number 9, give me the Minnesota Vikings. Covering against the Colts. At the end, it is the Colts. Joe Flacco didn't have his best day, but I had to keep him in here, Dill, just because, Jamie D did look good. Justin Jefferson, that receiving core with T.J. Hawkinson now being healthy. You got Naylor. You got Addison looking good. Dill, to me, Minnesota is going to still be a pesky team, and I think they'll still be here come playoff time. Like I said, Brian Flores did one hell of a job on Sunday Night Football, and I expect him to continue that. Give me the Vikings at 9.
Okay, number 8 for me. Let's go to up north. Let's go to Green Bay. I got Green Bay at number 8. Had to drop them. Didn't look good. I still question why they played Jordan Love, if I'm being honest. You have a bye this week. You really didn't need to play him. He didn't look good. Kind of regressed. I thought regardless of like the weather conditions, I thought the game was kind of close though. So, we'll see. I still think, I think they have a chance to win that NFC North, but they probably can't get swept by the Lions. So week 14 at the Lions should be a really good game. But yeah, I like Green Bay. I think they're a good team. Jordan Love has been kind of up and down after getting the contract. He has been hurt. Hopefully after this bye week, he can get healthy. But yeah, give me Green Bay at 8.
Yeah, I agree with you. Give me Green Bay at number 8. Hopefully during this bye week, everybody could just get a little healthier. Quad Alexander, he's been out of the lineup as of late. Hopefully he's able to get back. It's him and McKinney as the secondary. Those two corners could be one of the best in football. Jordan Love just needs to be healthy, though. We saw when he came back from the injury, week 3 through 5, he looked phenomenal. Then he got a little banged up and he hasn't looked as the same. So I think he has to get a little healthy. The wide receiver core is healthy, so I think that's a plus. And Josh Jacobs has been, to me, has been running the hell out of the ball for them. To me, it was a great acquisition in the offseason. I still love what they're doing. Jordan Love just needs to stay healthy. Give me the Packers at 8.
At number 7, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6-2, playing well. I'll admit it. I hate when I'm wrong, but Russell Wilson was the best option for this offense. And I'm still a fan of Justin Fields. I think he has a place in this league. It's just Russ is better. Like, you got to eat it at this point. The offense is better. They go out and get Mike Williams. They get slowly but surely, they have kind of a guy everywhere. Good run game, good defense. Russ is cooking. I'm not saying Mike Williams is kind of like DK, but he's a big fucking guy that could go up and get the ball. So we'll see what connection they have. But yeah, I like this. No one's talking about this Pittsburgh team, by the way. Everyone's talking about the
boy.
Exactly. So everyone's talking about the 3 teams in the AFC, rightfully so: Chiefs, Ravens, and Bills. But watch out for this Pittsburgh Steelers team, and especially Week 16. I think Christmas Eve, I was going to try to get tickets. Shout out Dan the man. But Week 16 at the Ravens might be a really big game, kids. So, yeah, I like Pittsburgh. I'm sitting there at number 7.
Yeah, I love the energy, Dale. At number 7, give me the Philadelphia Eagles, Dale. They're coming around. They're starting to get my attention. Honestly, they didn't cover the big number against Jacksonville and old Dougie P. But hey, people, that's Dougie P. old stomping grounds. That man got a statue outside. What did you expect? You thought he was just going to get blown out. I didn't. Dill, Saquon has been phenomenal. A.J. Brown and the wide receiver corps need to stay healthy. They've been banged up a little bit. Devontae Smith missed a game. Dallas Goedert missed a couple games. A.J. Brown missed a couple games. They need to, as a group, they need to come together and stay healthy. If they could do that, the defense has been playing at a high level. We could both agree on that, especially these last 3 to 4 weeks. If that defense could continue playing at this level, Dill, hey, man, got to give credit to the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts, like you said, Dill, has been playing clean football. Give credit to him. Give me the Eagles at 7.
At number 6, give me the Minnesota Vikings. Bumped them up a little bit this week. Okay win. I won't say good win. It was a game that they should have won. I do think, regardless of how many incompletions he made, I think Sam Darnold did regress a little bit, but their defense is what's going to keep them in every game. I like their run game, and when you got a guy like Justin Jefferson that could go up and get the ball anyway, it will help you out and bail you out. So I like Minnesota. I think they're a playoff team. Week 17 versus the Packers should be a very interesting game, but watch out for this Minnesota team. I like them. They're right outside the top 5 for me, number 6.
At number 6, Dill, this is a team I honestly wanted to put in top 5, but I can't go there just yet. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 6, Dill. I love everything you just said. Mike Tomlin is doing one head of a job over there. Russell Wilson, I said it during the preseason, during the futures. In my opinion, Russ just gives you a chance to contend for a Super Bowl. That's all. Just a field. Think about it. They was able to make the playoffs last year with, what's bro's name again? I already forgot. Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph. They made the playoffs last year. Deal with that. With Justin Fields, they probably would have done the same. With Russell Wilson, I think he puts him in as a contender. And like you were just alluded to, Dill, I think you're coming along and starting to see, hey, the Steelers might be for real. Watch out. Dill, that defense is a top 5 defense. Their running game with Najee Harris and Warren is pretty good. Offensive line is solid. And now I don't love Mike Williams. I don't think he's a mover. But I think the offense did improve just a tad with him being added onto it. Give me the Steelers at number 6.
Let's go into the number 5 team. Give me the Washington Redskins. Big win against a team that arguably historically has their number. The Giants usually always give them a tough game or wind up beating them. Love what they did. We'll talk about it, but going out and getting a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, who, they punted on their season. We knew Dennis Allen wasn't going to last either. He wound up getting fired. A team that kind of needs to get some cap room and get some money. They wind up being sellers, which I think the Cowboys should have done, but we'll talk about that in a little. But I think Dan Quinn always makes average corners into good corners. Now you have a 4-time Pro Bowler coming in. He's going to get him that much better. Has to stay healthy. And arguably so, the talk around town is obviously Jaden Daniels, and rightfully so. But I like what they're doing. Terry McLaurin is starting to get his rhythm going. This defense, low-key, is very disciplined. Love their run game. say what you want, but the Redskins are 7-2. They control their own destiny. And if they go out there and run the table, they might be in the NFC Championship game. Hot take, but I like this team a lot.
I love the energy. Give me the Washington Commanders at number 5. I put them at number 5 just because what they was able to acquire today. Jaden Daniels in that offense has been phenomenal. It's been amazing. Honestly, one of the quite shockers in recent years how well this offense has been playing. And our main concern, even in the preseason, was can that defense turn it around? And to be honest, they did. And now you add one of the best corners in all of football, Longshot Lattimore, dude. That's why I had to put them at number 5, dude. I was going to put the Steelers at 5, but I think the Washington Commanders got way better on the secondary, and that's what they needed. Look at their division. You got CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, and then look, you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. You need a true number 1 corner for your division, and especially come playoff time. He's a vet. He's been there, done that in the biggest games. Though to me, this was one of the best additions in this season. Give me the Commanders at number 5.
At number 4, give me the Buffalo Bills. I actually dropped them, even though they did win.
That's crazy.
I know, but I just can't put them in front of the Ravens. Ravens destroyed them. I just can't do it. They matched up already, and they beat them head to head. Just like how even though I low key think the Ravens have been playing better than Kansas City, I can't put them in front. They lost to them. So I got the Bills. I like them a little closer than I thought against the Dolphins, but in division game, you'd figure it'd be close, but Josh Allen deserves to be in the MVP category. I don't think he should be second. I think he should be third, but regardless, I still think he's playing well. Hopefully Amari Cooper gets back to playing this week, but big game again, week 11, not this week, next week against the Chiefs. That should be a really good game, but yeah, I like Buffalo here at 7-2 at number 4.
At number 4, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Still, I'm gonna be honest, I can't really disagree with you, but I got to put them there at number 4. Defensively is what keeping me away from putting them in top 3. They're not a solidified, a top 5 defense anymore. The defense is still good, but it's not great. Lamar's been playing like an MVP, and I think the addition of Deontay Johnson might even give this offense a more boost than they already have. Derrick Henry's been playing like the offensive player of the year. I can't take nothing from this Ravens team, Dill. I love what I've been seeing. I just have them at number 4 for now.
At number 3, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Like I said, they beat them head to head. You got to put up 35 to beat this team. I truly think they're outside of the lines. I think they're the best offense in the league right now. Derrick Henry's on pace for 2,000 fucking yards. I mean, Jerry Jones, what are we doing here? It's insane. Love the pickup. They get Tre'Davious White, try to help that secondary out as well. I think hopefully that will add a little spark to it. Secondary needs a little work, but this Baltimore Raven team, I just don't know who is going to stop them offensively. And like I said, week 16 against the Steelers at home, Christmas Eve, might be for the division. But yeah, give me the Ravens at number 3.
At number 3, give me the Buffalo Bills still. I started liking this team a lot just because Josh Allen's been playing great. The addition of Amari Cooper, to me, that puts him over the top. James Cook been running the ball well. And then what we've been saying, Dill, defensively, they've been getting better and better week in and week out. And we know they're going to get healthier through time, Dill. I think Buffalo is a serious team to watch out for in the AFC. I think Josh Allen is live for the MVP. So is Lamar. But give me the Buffalo Bills at number 3.
I'll just say the last 2 because I think they're the same. Number 2, I got the Detroit Lions. I would say this move that they made going out and getting who did they get? What was his name? Zadarius Smith, Pro Bowler. How can I forget from the Browns? Look what Zadarius Smith did a few weeks ago when the Browns played the Ravens. He was a havoc. I think this move, they're the best team in the NFC. I don't think there's any debate about that. I think this move was to try to compete with those 3 quarterbacks. Lamar, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. All 3 quarterbacks that are mobile. You need to get pressure on the quarterback. And yes, losing Aiden Hutchinson is a tough blow. And I know Dan Campbell is coming out and saying, there's a chance he might come back late, but you can't take that risk. This is a Super Bowl winning team. This is a Super Bowl move going out and getting a Zadarius Smith. I think they're all in. And I'll say this, best explosive offensive player in the league is Jahmyr Gibbs. So going out and getting that 1-2 punch in Gibbs and David Montgomery is fantastic. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the top 5 receiver in the game. Jared Goff, they tried to ship him away and die. All he's done is succeed. I love this team. I love Dan Campbell. And honestly, I know they're 7-1, but they're probably the best team in the NFL right now. And then I got the Chiefs at number 1, 8-0. At the end of the day, they're undefeated. They just find ways to win. I think you said it perfectly when we were recapping Monday Night Football. It looked like vintage Mahomes last night. Escaping. He did get sacked a little bit, but the run game was there. Travis Kelce was there. No matter how many guys are down, Patrick Mahomes finds ways to win. And Andy Reid is he'll go down as one of the best play callers in the game. So I gotta give them their flowers and give them at 1 because they are undefeated.
Yeah, I think you just said everything perfectly. So I'm not even gonna touch too much on it. Give me the Detroit Lions at number 2. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs at number 1. Detroit, they've been playing like the best team in football. I'm not even gonna lie, especially these last 4 or 5 week stretch, blowing teams out and then also taking care of business this past week. Detroit been impressive, very impressive. But you can't deny Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. They look like playoff form yesterday, and that's why I got to put them at number 1. Tampa Bay gave them everything they got shorthanded, and the Chiefs still prevailed. Give credit to the Kansas City Chiefs.
100%. Real quick, I told on the top of the show, I did mention it. It was NFL trade deadline day today. Mentioned Lions. They get pass rusher Zadarius Smith from the Browns. Zadarius Smith and a 2026 7th rounder are going to Detroit for a 2025 5th rounder and a 6th rounder in 2026. Good deal. And like I said, I don't think this has anything to do with the NFC. They're the best team in the NFC, and I don't think it's actually close. I think it has to do with the AFC team. Love the move. This means that they're all in right now. Going and getting out an elite Pro Bowl pass rush like him to go and try to stop Lamar, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. This is why you do that. Love the move.
Yeah. With this move, like you said, they're all in. This what makes, this reminds me a little bit of when the Rams got Von Miller. We was like, all right, shit. The Rams are all in. The Detroit Lions are all in, This is a move they had. I'm not going to say they had a move, but we all know ever since Aiden Hutchinson went out, they're going to need somebody to replace and fill that hole with a couple sacks still. And I think Zadarius Smith for a midseason pickup was that perfect acquisition. So give credit for the Detroit Lions for pulling off the move and being all in moving forward.
Yeah, another move that I thought was really good was the Redskins, man. Going out and getting a Pro Bowler, a 4-time Pro Bowler, and Marshawn Lattimore. It's amazing. Washington is sending a 3rd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick to New Orleans. Washington gets, obviously, Marshawn Lattimore and a 5th-rounder as well. If he stays healthy, this is a championship move as well. I think they might, if they lock up the 2nd seed, kid, they have an opportunity to lock up that 2nd seed. They get a home field advantage game. If he could stay healthy, Dan Quinn and this defense is going to mold Marshawn Lattimore into another Pro Bowl year with the Redskins. So I love the move. Think they're going all in too. And honestly, it's very surprising how ahead of the schedule this team is.
Yeah. Dale, this is another win now move. Give credit for the front office and Dan Quinn for getting a true shutdown quarter in Marshawn Lattimore. This is exactly what this team needed. A true vet on the back end of this defense that could help lead this young group, Dale. And look at it. Right now, you have Bobby Wagner at the middle back position, and then you have Marshawn Lattimore at the back end of this defense, Dale. To me, that's pretty amazing. And especially you give another weapon to Dan Quinn. I'm pretty sure these turnovers are about to start cooking in these next few weeks, Dale. And like you said, Jaden Daniels playing ahead of schedule. This Washington Commanders team was like, fuck it. We could have a chance to compete now.
Yeah.
Let's go all in for this Pro Bowl corner, and that's exactly what this team needed.
You see, all five or all these teams that we're mentioning are all top 10 teams, and they're addressing key positions that you need to in the deadline: pass rush, corner, wide receiver, and another one, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They go out and they get Preston Smith. I think Preston Smith is he's a menace sometimes. He's another edge rusher from the Packers. Steelers wind up sending a 7th-round pick to the Packers for him. I think that is a deal as well. You put him next to fucking TJ Watt. They're going to they get sacks now. So love that move. And they also get Mike Williams. It's not a needle mover, but it's also Russ is sitting back like, okay, I got some weapons now.
I can take that.
It's going to take some pressure off of George Pickens, who I think is a very good wide receiver, but he's not a number one just yet. He's number one on this team, but I think he's still development.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think adding a guy Mike Williams, I understand he's not going to move the needle much, but he could help a guy like George Pickens grow a little bit, in the game, teach him, show him a couple of things. Mike Williams been there and done that. He's played with, Justin Herbert. He's played with a Phillip Rivers. He's been in the playoffs, so he could teach this kid. But like, you know what? And I think him and Russ, just because those are two veterans, I think they'll be able to build something quick. And not for nine, I think Mike Williams wasn't happy on his role in New York.
No, once they got Devontae Adams, it was done.
To be honest, I think as soon as they got Adams and Zard, it was done. Because Zard became a big weapon unexpectedly.
Yeah. He never really got it going, and once that primetime game came, and Aaron Rodgers kind of criticized him, he wasn't going to get the ball after that either. But yeah, big moves. Other moves that happened. Bears, they wind up getting Khalil. They send Khalil Herbert to the Bengals. Don't know why the Cowboys are trading for Jonathan Mingo. I mean, what the fuck is that?
Maybe Brandley Cook is out for the for.
But you're done. Your season's done. Dak is going on IR. You're done. You said it yourself. They're done. Stop trying to make excuses for them. I don't understand how you could sit back and be like, well, we might be contenders. Do what the Saints are doing. We're done. Pack it in. What are we doing here? It's just stupid to me. So
to me, if the NFC wasn't as loaded, I would have been like, you know what? Yeah. But right now at 3-5, you're going to need, multiple teams just to trend downwards. Green Bay, Philadelphia, Chicago, Rams, San Francisco, even Tampa. I doubt 4 out of those 5 teams are just going to tank. I doubt it. So yeah. I think even Seattle, I don't even think right now how as constructed without Dak Prescott, Cowboys are better than Seattle.
Yeah, we'll see. I just really don't understand it. We'll see. But yeah, unfortunate Dak is going to go on the IR, Jerry said today on his radio station. Before we get to Thursday Night Football, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or a new flavor, coconut, watching Thursday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Speaking of Thursday Night Football, let's get on over to the bank. Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Line opened up -3s, moved all the way up to -6. Agree with the line movement. Total opened up at 46, all the way up to 52.5. Bengals dealing with some injuries right now. I mean, kid, they need this game, but I don't know how much you believe in Joe Burrow and the Bengals, but we'll see. You taking the points, or we're going to see another dominant performance by Lamar?
You might be able to see another dominant performance by Lamar, Dale, but this is a division matchup, and Joe Burrow in this offense is going to go out swinging, Dale. I think it's going to be similar to that, what week was it? Week 5 matchup Dill, give me the Cincinnati Bengals plus 6.5 on the road. Don't get me wrong. Lamar in this offense could put up a ton of points, but so can this Cincinnati offense as well. So I give them a shot to keep it close. Still, I think it might be a 4 3-point game, something like that. Give me the Kansas City. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals plus 6.5 on the road.
We've seen this song and dance before from the Bengals. I'm just not buying it at this point. They're riddled with injuries. They really can't run the ball. Joe Burrow's look good, but he still turns the ball over. And yeah, whatever. You guys can mention they beat up on a bad Raiders team, but still, this defense is one of the worst.
Hey, that same Raiders team beat this Baltimore Ravens team now.
Exactly.
Cincinnati took care of business.
Still, one of the worst defenses in the league in Cincinnati. Baltimore, I just think Baltimore can hit you with multiple angles. They can hit you with the run game. They can hit you with the pass game. And then you got to stop Lamar Jackson at home in a tough environment to play. I don't buy it. I'll lay the 6 here with the Ravens. I think they actually blow them out. This game, I don't think the two teams are close. Yes, they're in division. They play each other really tough, but I truly don't believe these two teams are close. Let's go to the total, though. Interesting because it opened up around 46, 47, went up to 48. It's come up to all the way 51. I see 52s out there as well.
I saw 53 earlier.
The total's just continuing to go up right now. When these two teams played back in week 5, they combined for more than 70 points. So I kind of understand why the number is towards the over. The Bengals just scored 41 points against the Raiders. They could still play. They could still move. Like I said, Joe Burrow has been playing a little better despite Jamar Chase not having a touchdown. Cincinnati's passing game, say what you want, they're top 3 in air attack. So they're facing a Ravens defense. They just got Tre'Davious White. We'll see how that helps. But regardless, I think the Bengals will be able to score points. But I do think the Baltimore Ravens will be able to score points as well. So 51.5 just seems a little too low for a game that combined for almost 70 points last time. I got to take the over. I agree with the line movement.
I do agree with the line movement, Dill, but I think it got a little too much up there, Dill. I'm going to lean with the under at 52.5, 53 points. I don't get me wrong. Both offenses, top 10 in the league. Don't get it twisted. But, Dill, I just don't expect it to be as a shootout like we saw week 5. Cincinnati defense is one of the worst in the league, Dill, but they did get a little healthier, especially in the front end since that week 5 matchup. I think they'll be able to cause a little pressure on Lamar, and not for that defense for the Ravens. I think they'll be able to get after Joe Burrow as well. So it'll be interesting if Lamar goes out there and throws a couple of touchdowns again. If Zay Flowers plays like he's been playing, Mark Andrews was doing his thing as well, getting a little more involved. But I think the Cincinnati defense could, just cause a little havoc. They'll slow down the Ravens just a tad. I'm going to lean with the under there. I want to go there officially, but that week 5 matchup has me a little worried.
All right, let's go to player props because I think there's a bunch of guys we can attack. Like I said, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. I mean, he might get 2,000 yards. He really might. He's on pace for like 1,976 or something along those lines. So he has an opportunity going against a bad defense this week at home. What are we thinking player prop wise?
I got my eyes set on T. Higgins. I know he missed last week's matchup. I think they sat him out last week. He was ruled out late for this matchup because they know this is a must-win matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, and he killed them week 5. He had 2 tutties, 9 catches for 83 yards. Still, I doubt he has 2 tutties again, but I would expect a big game for T. Higgins. I think he'll be able to go. No lines out on him yet, but I'm gonna take his over. Dale, give me T. Higgins over whatever it is. I'm gonna guess is around 58, maybe 61. I think he goes for at least 75 plus on this defense still.
Elvis, good luck. Let's start week 10 with a banger. Hey, we're halfway through the NFL season, unfortunately, but this is a banger to start. And then next week, I think, is the Eagles, Redskins Thursday night. So back-to-back really good Thursday night games for the people as well. Let's go over to the association. Like I said, no games for election day on Tuesday. Got a bunch of games Wednesday, only 3 Thursday. Real quick news. Unfortunately, Aaron Gordon is going to be out multiple weeks as well. Calf strain for Aaron Gordon. Want to send our thoughts and prayers to Pop. He suffered a health scare where he was hospitalized. So the assistant coach will be Mitch Johnson for the indefinite period. There's no timetable for the legend Greg Popovich. So hopefully, everything clears up and he gets healthy and kind of just enjoys the holidays with his family. And then lastly, really wanted to touch that, kind of just came over to us about, I don't know, maybe an hour before we went on, but the NBA has suspended Joel Embiid for 3 games with his altercation, shoving a columnist in a post-game locker room. A little context for people who didn't know, this columnist is a dick. Like, don't bring your family into it or his brother. I'm not the biggest Joel Embiid fan, but you don't say some things. And then when the man pressed you in public, you didn't have anything to say. That's a pussy move, in my opinion. That's a pussy move. One, no family member should ever be brought. If you want to criticize me not playing, my load management, I think that's all fair game. But when you start bringing a family member like his brother, who he's very close with, there's just certain lines you just don't cross, and you should know that as a journalist. He knew what he was doing by writing that. He wanted to get a reaction out of him. People are saying it's a punch. I'm not saying that. What's skeptical is that the video isn't out, which makes me think it might be a punch. That's all I'm saying. But he is suspended, but I do think he was in the right. I mean, the columnist should have never fucking said that. So I don't advocate for putting your hands on people, but I don't also advocate for involving people's family. That's one thing.
All I'm going to say is sometimes you got to put your hands on people, Dill. I'm not going to advocate for violence, but sometimes it's necessary. That's all I'm going to say, people. But let's get into this NBA slate. Real quick, hopefully everything is good for the Greg Popovich and his family. All prayers and thoughts to one of the greatest NBA head coaches of all time. Hopefully we see him back on the sideline. Hopefully in a month from now or two. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Pop, we here for you. But let's start it off, Dill. 7 o'clock start. Detroit Pistons taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte laying 2 points at home. Over-under sitting at 221.5. Detroit Pistons coming off that impressive win against the Los Angeles Lakers on Sunday night, Dill. I think they're going to be riding high and fade, Dill. Give me the Charlotte Hornets on the money line. You just want to lay the 2. You can lay the 2, but give me the Hornets on the money line minus 130. Next game, Dill. We having a finals matchup from 2 years ago. Golden State Warriors taking on the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying 7. Shop around 7.5. Over under sitting at 229. Give me the Golden State Warriors +7, +7.5. I was able to get the +7.5 early on. Don't get me wrong, Celtics has been a boat. But shockingly, the Golden State Warriors are a 6-1 team, and they've been in thick of things. And the most impressive part, though, they've been winning these games without Steph Curry. Steph is back. Give me the Golden State Warriors +7.5. Wouldn't be surprised if he gives you a 30-plus point game there. His over-under sitting at 23.5 points. I will go with his over as well. Next game, Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Basically, I had to pick them. Lakers short favorites -102. It depends when you look at it. Memphis short favorites -116. Give me the Lakers, Dill. I'm gonna take the Lakers -102. Shop around out there if you could get them at plus money, by all means. I think the Lakers bounce back against that Piston loss, and not for nothing. Memphis, I thought highly of him. I know it's early on, so I'm not gonna overreact, but haven't been looking great this far. Not as good as I intended them to be. Lost to my Brooklyn Nets twice. Hey, maybe we're just really good, Dill. But I think the Lakers take care of business. Give me the Lakers on the money line. Next game, 9 o'clock start. OKC Thunder taking on the Denver Nuggets in Denver. Over-under sitting at 223.5. OKC's undefeated. 7-0, Dill. Looking like one of the best teams in basketball. I'm going to lay the 6. Give me the OKC Thunder -6 on the road. Don't get me wrong. Jokic still playing like one of the best players in the league. But this Denver team, they start off slow, Dale. And I expect OKC to keep it rolling. Give me the -6 or whatever you can get it at with the Thunder. Next game, Phoenix Suns taking on the Miami Heat. Over under sitting at 222.5. Phoenix laying 5. Give me the Phoenix Suns -5 and I call 5.5 earlier. I love the 5 at home. To be honest, Budenholzer has this team rolling. Gotta give credit to him. We saw how I'm not gonna say they did struggle last year. This team has been turned around defensively. They're playing at a high level. Devin Booker been playing great. Kevin Durant as well. Dill. I like what I've been seeing from this team. Give me Phoenix -5 at home. Next game, we were just talking about this team. 76 is taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. Over under sitting at 219. Clippers short favorite, laying 1.5, -120 on the money line. Dill, I'm gonna go there. Give me the Clippers -118 on the money line. Philly, is still, let's see if Paul George plays. I think he will, but they've just been disappointing. Aaron Gordon, he's gonna be out for a couple times now. And James Harden's been playing pretty good, and Nolan Powell is just a bucket getter. I think Nolan Powell could honestly have a chance to have a big game as well. So give me Clippers on the money line. Next game, Utah Jazz taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks laying a huge number, 8.5 points. Both 1-6 teams. I'm surprised I'm saying that the Bucks and Utah Jazz have the same exact record, even though it's still early on.
Get Doc out of there.
Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers sitting next to each other on the bench. It's a scary sight, though. It's a scary sight for the Bucks fans. But I'm gonna lay it. I think the Bucks need to bounce back here. I think that they fought good yesterday against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland hitting a game-winning shot with 3 seconds left. Give credit to him. But I think the Bucks have to make a statement here. This is a game you win by at least 20 points. Can they? I don't think so. But I think they'll cover the 8.5. Give me the -8.5 with the Milwaukee Bucks. My last game of the night, Dale. The Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Chicago Bulls. Over on the sitting at 225. Minnesota laying 6.5 points on the road. I'm gonna lay it. Give me the Minnesota Timberwolves -6.5. Julius Randle starting to come along, Dale. Starting to come around. I like what I've been seeing. Lonzo Ball, I want to see him get a little more involved. But the Bulls team, I like them, don't love them. Give me Minnesota -6.5. And then I'm going to end it off with a two-way teaser, Dill. Orlando Magic taking on the Indiana Pacers. Pacers laid 6.5. Dill, I teased them down. I ended up teasing them to a 0.5 point down. And then Cleveland taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. To me, I can't get behind this Pelicans team right now. So I'm going to tease down honestly one of the best teams in basketball, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Give me the Cavaliers to -1.5. So that's my two-way teaser to end off the night.
What I liked was the Kif collection for the Knicks. I thought that was fire. Something I can't afford right now, but very, very nice. Zion, though, had a really good game the other night. They're not doing well, but Zion is doing okay. NBA is just beating the bricks off of me lately. I've been kind of taking a step back. College started on Monday. Good to see college back. I'll start having more plays for you guys. I kind of just want to see what we're looking. Cooper Flagg looked good in his first game. The kid's looking like the #1 pick. But yeah, kid, that's gonna do it. Any last words before we get up out of here? I have 4 words, I guess. I stand with Jason Kelce. That's how I'm gonna leave it off. What do you think?
Honestly, shout out Jason Kelce. I didn't see I did see what happened, but I didn't see the dude's point of view. Some type of slur was said, but at the end of the day, like I said, sometimes physical harm is needed, and right there and there, people need to learn how to respect personal space. And Jason Kelce took action. To me, I guarantee that kid will never do that again, especially to a Hall of Fame offensive lineman.
I mean, he kind of stepped towards him and then realized, oh shit.
Oh shit. Exactly.
This is the
my
worst.
Point. If you keep some people gotta learn, don't poke the bear.
Yeah. And what
one day the bear's gonna smack the shit out you.
And fuck TMZ for posting that headline. Jason Kelce uses homophobic slur. If you look at the video, the kid brought the F word into it. And then Jason Kelce said it. That's fair game. That's fair game in my opinion. But sometimes people got to learn. With that, good luck. God bless. See you.